All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are jumping into something huge, something that's changing our world as we speak. We're talking about AI, the stuff we see online, and fear. Yeah, fear. It's a complicated mix, so let's get right into it. I mean, it's a pretty bold question, right? But it's one we've got to ask. Think about it. Every single time you scroll through your feed, there are algorithms working behind the scenes. The real question is, are they just giving you more of what you like? Or is something else going on? Are they actually, strategically shaping how you feel? We're going to dig into the how right now.
Okay, so here's the plan for this explainer. First up, we'll look at why AI is this classic double-edged sword. Then, we'll dive into what we're calling the architecture of fear and the fallout it's having on all of us. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. We're also going to look at how AI can be a shield. And finally, we'll talk about what we need to do to build a better, more resilient future. All right, let's kick things off with this core concept. AI itself, it's not good, it's not evil. It's just a tool, a really, really powerful tool. And just like a hammer, you can use it to build a house or you can use it to break a window. It all comes down to who's wielding it and why. It is the perfect example of a double-edged sword. And this slide, wow, it just lays that duality out perfectly. Look, on one side, you've got AI as a weapon of fear. It can crank up the volume on disinformation like you wouldn't believe, chipping away at our trust in, well, everything. And it can be aimed right at the most vulnerable people. But then you flip it over, and that exact same technology can be a shield for the truth. It can sniff out the lies, help us all get smarter about the media we consume, and even help clean up online spaces. So to really get a handle on this, we need to talk about the core problem here, fear-mongering. I mean, this isn't a new trick. It's a super old tactic for controlling people, right? You make them afraid to get them to do what you want or think what you want. It's been used forever to push political agendas. But here's the kicker. AI has strapped a rocket engine to this old tactic. It's fear-mongering on steroids. Okay, so let's talk about that dark side of the sword for a minute. What's actually under the hood? What's the tech, the architecture, if you will, that lets AI whip up and spread fears so effectively? So this architecture of fear, it's not just one thing. It's a few key pieces all working in concert. First, you've got algorithmic amplification. That's what shoves the scariest, most outrageous stuff to the top of your feed. Then you've got deepfakes and other synthetic media, which just completely blur what's real and what's not. Backing them up, armies of AI bots, making it all seem way more popular than it is. And the glue holding it all together is predictive surveillance, which figures out exactly what scares you and gives you more of it. And take a look at this. It really shows you just how powerful that first step, the algorithmic amplification, truly is. This is wild. A major study in 2018 found that lies spread about 6 times faster than the truth online. 6 times! And why is that? It's simple, really. The algorithms are built for one thing: engagement. And let's be honest, nothing grabs our attention, our primal lizard brain, quite like a good scare. And then you've got deepfakes. And we're not just talking about a little Photoshop here. No. We're talking about incredibly realistic videos or audio, all generated by AI that look and sound so real you just can't tell the difference. Seriously, just imagine seeing a video of a world leader declaring war, a video that's completely fake, or seeing footage of a riot that never happened. The potential for chaos here is just off the charts. And listen, this isn't some sci-fi movie scenario. As experts like Chesney and Citron have been warning for years, this is happening right now. The power to just manufacture convincing fake evidence whenever you want on a massive scale, that is a direct attack on our trust. You can use it to spark a panic, to throw an election into chaos, or to make people stop believing in anything. Journalism, science, you name it.
So, okay, what happens when you put all of this together? When a whole society is just constantly being hit with this wave of AI-powered fear and lies, what does that actually do to us, to the fabric of our society? Let's take a look at the fallout. The consequences are, well, they're pretty severe, and it's like a chain reaction. It all starts with trust breaking down. When we can't even agree on basic facts, we get pushed further and further apart. That's social polarization. From there, our shared public square starts to crumble, what they call civic fragmentation. And at the end of that dangerous road, you get real-world exclusion and sometimes even violence.
Okay, I know. This all sounds incredibly bleak. But remember what we said at the beginning? That double-edged sword? It's time to flip it over and look at the other side. This is the pivot point, because we can absolutely turn this technology against itself. We can use AI as a shield. So here's the big question, right? Is all hope lost? Are we just doomed to live in a future run by fear algorithms? Or can we actually redeem this technology? And the answer, thankfully, is a huge yes. If, and it's a big if we make the right calls. So what does AI's defensive toolkit actually look like? Well, there are a bunch of ways we can harness its power for good. You've got things like automated fact-checking, which can call out lies almost as soon as they appear. You've got ethical content moderation that can spot and flag toxic stuff. We can build AI tools that help us become smarter consumers of media, pointing us to reliable sources. And we can build tools that give us some transparency, letting us peek under the hood of those algorithms. And look, this isn't just theory. These tools are out there, right now, in the wild. For instance, AI systems are already analyzing how stories spread online to spot those big, coordinated disinformation campaigns. You have services like the Perspective API, which uses machine learning to rate how toxic a comment is, helping platforms clean up their act. And tons of other projects are focused on one simple thing: guiding you and me toward info we can actually trust. Which brings us to our final and honestly our most critical section. We have the tools, we have the defensive tech. So the question is, how do we build a system, a whole society really, that's strong enough to use these tools the right way and manage this technology responsibly? And if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Technology by itself isn't going to save us. It's just not. A fancy fact-checking algorithm is basically useless if it's not part of a bigger system. A system that has accountability, transparency, and fairness built right in. At the end of the day, the tools are only ever as good as the human rules and institutions we create to manage them. So what does that governance actually look like? Well, the roadmap is pretty clear. We're talking about things like mandatory audits of algorithms to force companies to answer for their impact. We're talking about transparency laws, so you know if you're arguing with a person or a bot. It means we have to start building ethics in from the very beginning. Ethics by design. And of course, it means investing a ton in public education and setting up independent groups to keep an eye on everything, like a watchdog. So in the end, it really all comes down to this one powerful idea. Think of AI as a mirror. It just learns from what we show it. It amplifies the things we click on, the things we share, the things we get angry about. It reflects us. Our priorities, our biases, our values, all of it. So the real question isn't what is AI going to do to us? The real question is, what are we going to show it? What kind of world do we want it to reflect back at us? That's the choice we are all facing right now. Thanks for joining me.